Ethan Klein has gone too far goon shaming Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch.
A small issue of Dan being a total creep.
Want to explore clips?
That's very nice.
And now you have a clips feed. Okay? Suppose you want to check out the stories to see what you missed yesterday. You click there, and now you're in your stories feed. Okay?
Okay. That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's also...
Okay? Okay. Suppose you want to check out the stories to see what you missed yesterday. You click there. And now you're in your stories. Okay?
Okay. That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's also...
Have a seat on that chair.
Okay.
What were you doing with your pants?
You know, Dan, I would have let this creep narrative go. If it didn't happen twice, roll it.
The clip seen here is cut from the content nuke on Hassan Piker. The video itself as a YouTube video is good in the sense of entertaining, but the video as a takedown on someone is weak and uses content out of context and has irrelevant information to the subject and jokes that take away from the attempts of being serious. And the clip is an example of this. But instead of a serious discussion, let's talk about goon shaming our man Dan. In the context, it's only there to really set up a bit later, used to incriminate Hassan in a comedic way, but also to try making Dan seem worse as a person, which, yes, in the scope he mentions, it happened twice, and he is these young women's boss by technicality, but this really has nothing to do with Hassan, and is just a simp. Huh, that's funny. Maybe that should be a new term. Attempt to goon shame our boy Dan. I feel as though goon shaming really is kind of shitty on the account that we are trying to get to a society where adult content creators can thrive and actually not be shamed for what they do. So I feel as though vice versa, we should be not really kink shaming or goon shaming anyone, especially if they're not really doing any harm. This is something to catalog for if something comes out, but I feel as though this is something to kind of hold on to until after something does come out. Otherwise, you're just kind of coming off as someone who just wants to goon shame. Let the bro look at his like titties on stream, the booty, if you will. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why this is included. The video itself is somewhat problematic in the way where some of it is kind of just out of context, and if you want the full context, you can watch Hassan's actual content. And here's the funny thing, you don't have to worry about giving any money to Hassan looking for his videos, because there are 20 different channels that are not his channel making money off of his content that he doesn't care, which he has openly stated. His channel is Hassan Abi. So just avoid that. You can watch the content, not support him, and get the full context and form your own opinion instead of taking a half truth, you know? But there is some valid criticism that Ethan does have. Another takeaway is Ethan looks great in a suit. Like, let's be real, he looks great. Even with the gray hair and everything, he looks fantastic. Beautiful man, beautiful man. I personally do watch both Ethan and Hassan, not because, oh, they're like radical, blah, 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 blah. No, I just think they're funny. I really do think they're funny. I enjoyed the content nuke as a YouTube video, but I didn't enjoy it as a form of information. I think that is something to kind of understand there. You need to form your own opinions based on the information you can gather yourself. And there is some valid criticism there. One of the things I do agree with Ethan is I don't like Frogan. Like, I don't care if people are like, oh, you blah, 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 you're so-and-so, what, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't like Frogan. Frogan is a very problematic individual who openly picks fights. There is there's a clip in there where she's just saying cracker 5-6 times, which I don't care as a white man that someone's saying that. What I care about is the inequality enforcement of the rules on Twitch, because there have been several people that have said that and got banned talking about a saltine cracker. So why is it that she can sit there and call Ludwig a cracker? That's a cracker opinion and all of this here. That's kind of shitty. Also, there's probably some controversy about him calling her a small streamer and a nobody. And it's like, she's definitely not a nobody. She has a lot of influence on social media enough to piss off the general public, which I am one of those. And I will say, there were clips in there that I didn't know from Frogan that I really didn't like. And I've seen a lot of things from Frogan I don't like. So, I just don't like Frogan. I like Hassan as a funny man. I like Ethan as a funny man. As forms of information, I don't really go to them for information. If I want information, I go to Brian Tyler, something. I can't remember his whole name off the top of my head. But there are better people to go for your information. This is kind of just a petty drama for the most part, which I understand both sides. And I feel like there is like some point there where it's like they both should take the time to kind of reconcile their problems, because they were good friends. But the point of this video was supposed to be kind of like, haha, he's goon shaming and stuff, but I kind of feel like putting my opinion in there. There's a lot of things I can't really say on the content in the video. I don't know what is out of context and what is in context. But there is some things in there that is in context to be taken account in all this. But I'm not well educated enough on the subjects that they are upset with. But I can sit here and say, like, I feel like a lot of this can be handled better. I don't really know who is to quote-unquote blame for a lot of this. And I kind of don't care. I just wanted to make a video talking about this because I thought it was funny that he took the time to goon shame our boy Dan Clancy just for a skit, but at the same time, I think he really does like have a problem with that, and I kind of like ideology, whatever that word is, whichever word, because I'm dyslexic and illiterate, and I can't even pronounce illiterate right. But you can take what I say with a grain of salt. But I kind of think it was weird that he decided to goon shame Dan Clancy, because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people kind of like get upset about quote unquote titty streamers, which is a very broad term now. Most of the time it's just someone who views like a pretty woman on Twitch. It's just like, oh, they're a titty streamer. It's like, dude, they're just existing, bro. They're just existing. They're trying to make their living just as much as you are. They're trying to have fun playing their video games or just kind of chatting and stuff. It's like, you know, don't be upset because someone's like using what they got, because I guarantee you're probably doing the same thing they're doing, just in a different aspect. There's a lot of people out there that take advantage of what they have, which, whether it be a skill, an interest, or their education, you know, just having ass and titties is just another one of those advantages that I think people should be able to take. because there's nothing wrong with it. There's some dudes that go out and like takes advantage of being pretty. Hassan, for example, he takes advantage of being pretty. I mean, you can't sit here and say he's ugly because he's not. He's a pretty guy. He's a very pretty man. Ethan, in my opinion, is a pretty man. I think they do like take in stride what they have the ability to take advantage of. And I feel as though kind of shaming somebody for viewing titty streamers and kind of boiling them down, like just kind of taking them to be like, oh, female, he must be a creep. That's a little weird to me because a lot of times they're funny. Not every like chick that creates content is Sniper Wolf. Not at all. So it's like, why are you like this? There's like genuinely funny women on Twitch and YouTube. Why is it that like because he views a lot of them equates to him being a creep? He's not going out of his way to go and like harass them or anything, or that we know of. I will say that we know of. But it's a little strange to me to kind of take the time to make that jump without further evidence. And I feel like this is something that requires further evidence. That, and I feel it's irrelevant to the content at hand. There is, however, a lot with Dan Clancy in the video that is relevant, between making Twitch staff singing happy birthday. That is relevant. Trying to think here. Also him just saying like Hassan's his favorite streamer. You know, that's another thing. You know what that tells me? Dan likes just chatting streamers. Guess what? A lot of these quote unquote titty streamers are just chatting streamers. Maybe it's not a, oh, they have nice tits or nice ass. Maybe it's he actually genuinely thinks these people are funny. It just so happens some of the more popular just chatting streamers are women. It's a really easy thing to kind of like come to a conclusion with. So I don't think I have more to say on this subject. I kind of turned this into like a serious video. I'm a little disappointed that I did that. I'm going to still upload it as is. Bare bones, as always. Don't give a fuck. Subscribe if you want. Subscribe if you don't. I don't care. I'm just here to yap and talk about something that I thought was funny. Kind of turned it into like something more serious. Sorry about that. I kind of don't care either. Yeah, alright. See you next time.